This is the Evan and Katelyn podcast. It's the best podcast for you and me.
Podcast.
Maybe we shouldn't try singing intros at the same time.
I don't know. I think we nailed it.
We nailed it. Good job. Good job.
Thanks.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Evan and Katelyn podcast.
It's best podcast.
It's the best podcast for me and you.
Is it Codpast?
You know what? Words are hard. We should put that on a t-shirt. All right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about our early lives. We're going to share some awkward teenage years stories, perhaps. Katelyn is going to continue quizzing me about Pinterest.
Yes.
And as usual, we will be sharing our things of the week at the end of the show.
So, super exciting thing. This podcast episode is sponsored.
Woo, yeah.
We getting paid to do this. So our sponsor this week is Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business.
And we'll hear more about them later.
Yes, we will. Thank you, Squarespace. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this topic was kind of your idea. So I'm going into it a little bit blind.
Yeah. So
I mean, I know my own childhood. This is not really blind. I prepared, I guess.
Well, you have a better memory than me. So I had to kind of like think back a little bit, actually, because I'm just very forgetful. I just don't think backwards too much.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to cover this topic because it led into a suggestion that we got for a podcast episode on our YouTube channel. Did you know that on youtube.com/Evan and Katelyn podcast, you can leave suggestions on what episodes you might want us to cover?
I didn't know that, but I'm so glad you told me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. But we got questions about like our hobbies, games that influenced us, movies, TV shows, like what influenced us as we grew up and stuff. And I felt like before we cover that, we should kind of share some of our backstory in a way. I mean, we kind of covered the origin of Evan and Katelyn, but we didn't really cover the origin of Evan and Katelyn.
Okay.
So I thought that the awkward teenage years would be a good, funny, ripe area for stories and everything. But I tried looking up questions for this to prepare for this podcast interview. And I found a whole bunch of like really easy like ways to talk about your childhood, questions to ask people about their childhood, like icebreaker type things. It was pretty easy to find a whole bunch of those. But as soon as you entered like teenage or teenager or teenage years, everything got awkward.
No one wants to talk about their teenage years.
Well, but it was all about like parents, like advice to parents on how to talk to their teenagers and everything. Like it was just like a bajillion results about like all of the awkward teenage years and like how to talk to teens and everything.
How to talk to your teenager.
It was a lot of that. So I didn't find too much. So I made some stuff up.
Okay, cool.
But I thought that one thing that we could share that most people probably don't know about us is that we moved a whole bunch when we were growing up. We lived in 7 different places each.
Yeah, we each did. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So for me, it was New Mexico, Texas, Dubai, California, 2 places in California, Saudi Arabia, then Texas.
Evan just read that list because he had to write it down.
Shh, don't tell my secrets.
Okay, I'm going to do mine that fast without writing it down.
Yes, go.
2 places in Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina, Houston, San Antonio, California, back to Houston. California was only kind of halfway.
Kind of halfway,
just my
yeah.
family
Yeah,
lives there.
but still, that was a lot of places.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of shaped some of our childhood and like our personalities and stuff. Like one of the things I was thinking about is the pros and cons of moving around that much.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that I definitely thought about a lot in the moment too as I was experiencing it. But I do think there are significant pros and cons.
I think so too.
I try to focus more on the pros because that was my life.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to like get too negative about your own life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to look at the positives too. I mean, I think the very first move that I moved where I had lived in a place for 6 years, the longest I'd lived in a place at that point. And when I moved away from there, I was kind of sad. But I think I really did appreciate it kind of growing up, because I think the biggest thing for me is I always thought a lot about my personality and who I wanted to be and like what type of person I wanted to be. I thought about that a strangely large amount for a kid, I think.
Yeah.
But maybe because I moved around a lot and I was able to change a lot. It's kind of like starting a new character, like in a video game. It's like you get to start a new character every like year or 2.
Yeah.
And you can kind of like recreate yourself a little bit, which is weird to think of, but also really cool.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing, and I definitely took advantage of that.
Because I mean, when you're growing up in one place forever, everyone knows every stage you
entire
went through.
history,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you can't break out of a mold that you were in a way, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so what were some of your phases that you went through? Like some of the changes you made?
I think that when I was growing up, I've always been fairly awkward. I've always been fairly nerdy and reserved in some ways.
It's so funny you say that because when we met in college, you were nerdy, yes, but you were not awkward and you were not reserved at all.
I think maybe that's just how I saw myself. Maybe outwards I presented differently or something.
Yeah.
But also by the time I got to college, I had figured myself out a little bit. I had
hadn't.
broken free of some of those teenage year like
Woes.
and I was fairly confident after like kind of re-examining myself so many times. I was confident in like who I was and who I wanted to be. And I kind of went into college because most people, when they go to college, that's their one chance to change. You
That's
know?
true, yeah.
They like break away from the friends they've known their whole lives to some degree, and they go to college and they kind of get a fresh start in life or something. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if they went to college.
If they went to college, yeah.
There's not that chance.
Yeah,
That
it's
like,
kind of like
auto built-in
restart button.
re-social situation. Yeah.
I'll go through some phases. There's definitely like the most distinct phase is I went through like a slight rebellious phase. I started hanging out with
A bad crowd.
a bad crowd.
How old were you?
Oh, that was in 7th grade.
Oh, 13.
13. Oh, that was 13? Oh my gosh, I was such a little punk.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing really bad, but like
What did you do?
I might have vandalized something.
What did you vandalize?
Things.
Well, you got to tell me.
I already told you.
I know, but you got to tell the people. You can't bring this up and not answer questions. This is your
Dang
idea.
it, it's so awkward.
Was it like
I
a
was
bench or
embarrassed.
something?
No, it was like someone else's property. It wasn't a proud moment for me, and I very quickly learned from that. It was just like one experience. I kind of got wrapped up in something. I did something that I regretted. I got caught, thankfully. I paid the price. I apologized, and I never did anything stupid like that again. So I'm kind of glad that like I did something stupid. I paid the price, and I was like, why did I do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of a formative experience, I'd say.
It's interesting thinking of you in like a rebellious bad group of kids.
But at the same time, the whole time I was also like doing well in school, and like even the rebellious kids, like we were all like still doing well in school and everything, and still being serious.
Probably
about
just bored outside of school.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. We were maybe trying to. I don't know. I have no clue. Like I'm so far removed from that point in life. I should have like written down a diary. I know you had a diary, right?
I did. Yeah, I wrote down a lot of that stuff.
I didn't really have a diary.
Yeah.
Have you ever read your old diaries?
Oh, yes, it's painful.
It's painful.
It's painful.
Can you read some on the podcast?
I was a very emo kid.
Which is also funny because like a lot has changed since then.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like I don't know. I listened to a lot of like My Chemical Romance and The Used and Panic at the Disco, System of a Down.
You had feelings and you felt them very deep.
I felt my feelings and I wrote them all down. No, yeah, I don't know.
It is kind of interesting that one thing that I did realize looking back, trying to think of questions to ask each other, one thing I realized is a common thing that I felt a lot in those teenage years is I overblew the importance of everything. I overblew the importance of grades. I overblew the importance of like a dance, my interaction with that person, like just everything. Everything felt like so not life and death, but like, or maybe I just care about things less now or something. I don't know.
I guess when you're that age, it's hard to understand the impact. I mean, at any age that is younger than your current age, it's kind of hard to understand the impact of the situation you're in on the rest of your life if it's the first time you're dealing with that kind of situation.
And then it happens again and again, and you're like, oh, it's no big deal.
Yeah. It's like even things that happened recently, I feel like that still happens sometimes. Like, I know we told the story before, but when we like launched our
first,
YouTube channel and we posted the video without sound, and I was like,
devastated.
We've ruined it.
But I think that even by then we realized, like, within an hour, like,
No.
it's going to be good.
I was traumatized still. Yeah. But I think that is like a pretty common thing.
Did you go through a phase where you thought that people didn't understand you?
I mean, not really. Not really. Because I was always still pretty, like, I was awkward, but I was always very close to my family.
Yeah.
I think that's part of, when you move a lot.
That's definitely a pro. It's like your family becomes your unit, and both of us had siblings that we became really close with, because when you move a lot, you lose everyone but your family.
Yeah, so that's like your built-in constant best friend, and your family's they're your continual thing throughout all the moves.
Yeah.
So I was always like close with my family, so I didn't feel like no one understood me. But I did like, I was like slightly angsty sometimes, but I was also like, some of the stuff that I dealt with was like a pretty big deal.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like bad experiences are bad experiences, and comparing them is very hard.
Yeah, it's like, it was a big deal for me at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think that, like, I'm not sure how much I felt this, but I think that at some point in everyone's life, you might think that someone doesn't understand you, but at the same time, people do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, that's a very vague statement.
That was very vague.
I should maybe clarify some.
It's also hard because I didn't really go through that phase of feeling like people didn't understand me. But I also had like lots of outlets to express myself, because like I was close to my family, so I would like talk to my family.
Yeah.
I drew a lot, and I would post stuff online, and I could like express my teenage angst through my art. You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah. Well, I think that one thing that the internet really has done is that, no one is really alone anymore. Like, like no matter what unique scenario you're in, make a post on Reddit and someone will find it and say, that's me too.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
That's true.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And not feeling alone going through those experiences, I think it really helps.
Yeah. I'm
still being vague. I don't really have any specific examples I can bring up or anything.
Insert reference to Evan's bad memory here. So what's one interesting thing? Is, we were just talking about moving a lot, and I realized that we've been in our current house more than either of us lived in any of our houses growing up.
Yeah.
And it's weird because, like, I would have thought...
It doesn't seem like that.
I would have thought that by now I'd really have, like, the itch to get to a new place. Because there were some moves where, like, by the time we moved, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm ready to move again.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, because sometimes it definitely was really hard.
I always pictured myself continuing to move.
Me too.
In a way.
But now I'm kind of like, don't really want to move right now.
I mean, we do want a bigger place. We talked about it in an episode where we talked about our dream shop. But really, that's just the only reason we want to move is for business reasons and logistical reasons. I don't really feel the need to move just to move.
Yeah.
Because I think that we have a lot of freedom and flexibility to change, mainly because of this job that we've created for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think one of the cons looking back on kind of all the moves that we did is that it is kind of hard to create those like super lifelong friends that you've always been with and always been close with and everything. And we have made lots of really good friends, but I always like kind of thought growing up, like, I wonder what it'd be like to like have known someone since preschool and you're still like friends with them forever and ever. It's like another family member, basically, that level of
like
that's true. Closeness and
Good
everything.
thing we have a bunch of cousins.
We both have a lot of cousins. Yeah.
Because
And we
that
both
kind
see
of
them a
fills
lot.
that role. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
People who've been in our lives for so long.
Yeah, because I don't really have any friends that I've known since childhood that
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, with Facebook, I actually refound some friends from when I was like 3.
Yeah,
and
that's
we like
true.
met up and hung out, and it was kind of just like we were picking up this friendship that we dropped when we
That's
were 9.
true. So you do kind of like, I mean, you weren't constantly in
Yeah.
friendship, but you picked it back up, which
Yeah.
is cool.
That is really cool.
I have my only friends from that young that I remember the names of. It's really generic names, and I've tried to look them up, and I have no luck.
That's crazy. So, like one question that I had is like when you picture your childhood, now picture it visually, like a photograph almost.
Okay,
You know?
well, if I'm gonna picture a photograph, I need like an age range.
Like your childhood. Like
That's
for
a
me,
big
I'll
age.
give an example. For me, like my childhood is we were in Dubai, because that to
Well,
me
it's different
like
for you because you lived in that place for
for a
the
long
longest,
time,
and it was
yeah.
at an age where you had memories.
Yeah.
Your first few places you don't remember at all.
But also, it's weird. I think I made the most dense amount of memories while I was living in Dubai. I kind of had a really rich experience while I was there, and I think that I kind of like went into myself. I like this sounds kind of weird, but like I like read a lot of books. I went like really nerdy with PDAs, like the like Palm Pilots and stuff like that.
You found your inner nerd.
I completely found my inner nerd, and like there were definitely like some years that when I look back on them, they're kind of bland in a weird way. Like the memories don't really stick with me.
Okay.
Is that weird?
Is that the answer to your what do you picture for your childhood?
So where I was going with this is like so my childhood, when I picture it in my head. So I have an older brother and a much younger sister, and it's like the whole family gathered together at Christmas. I'm in like a gigantic oversized T-shirt that
As
has
we all were in our childhoods.
that has like an alien print, because I just had like a ton. I had a ton of gigantic oversized T-shirts that all had aliens on them.
They all had aliens?
They all had aliens.
I had a bunch of t-shirts. They were all my dad's.
Some of them were glow in the dark. Ooh. And one was like an alien license, like a driver's license. And one was just a big old alien. But like I'm in a giant T-shirt. I have an alien on it. And we're all gathered around like opening Christmas presents. That's like my childhood in like
one
photo.
Okay. I have two answers.
Okay, 2 answers. Go.
Because I had my two places that my formative childhood years were that I have the most memories of were Alabama and North Carolina.
Okay.
So, and they're kind of similar memories.
Huh.
Sort of. Alabama is just like, because where we lived, there was all these crazy like trees and woods, and like my brother and I and our friends in the neighborhood would just explore them and spend pretty much all day outside, and we would name different areas. We had like Clay Pond. We had Glass Mountain, which is a tree with a bunch of broken glass under it.
Glass Mountain. Sounds so dangerous.
We had the Jungle Gym, which is where there was one tree on top of a little like, not cliff, but place where the ground dropped off, and another tree on the lower part, and the roots from the upper one wrapped around the branches of the lower one, and we would like hang out in the Jungle Gym where they met. So it's just like hanging out outside a lot. And then the other is in North Carolina, hanging out outside a lot, because there were some really cool woods, and my friends and I would just roam around, just hang out in the woods. That's what we did.
Like some hooligans.
Yeah, basically. We weren't doing anything bad. We just like, it was more fun to hang out in the woods than hang out in our driveways.
Yeah, it's true. That's interesting. For me, like a lot of my like hanging out time was spent at a pool, because in Dubai it's really hot in Dubai, guys. Oh my gosh, it's so hot, so humid. You walk like for a quarter mile and you're drenched in sweat.
Worse than Houston.
Worse than Houston, definitely. Like it was
Was it
so
like
bad.
Cambodia?
It was kind of like Cambodia. It's like it was so bad that during the summer everyone just like left. Everyone left for as long as they could during the summers, because it was just very, very hot.
Would people leave their houses air conditioned while they were gone?
I don't
Like
know.
partly, or I wonder like if you didn't climate control your house.
I'd
in
have
that
to ask
heat?
my parents, because I wasn't
Yeah.
aware of like air conditioning logistics when I was 6. But yeah, we just left because in the summer it was so bad, and like the main activity that people did outside was Yeah.
Swim.
Swim.
Is that why you got into swimming?
Yeah, that's why I got into swimming. Well, also my mom was a swim instructor, and I had been swimming. I've been swimming my whole life. I'm still swimming right now through very, very
Green waters, because they're a green screen just behind us. Just in a sea of green.
yeah. But yeah, I don't actually have that many memories of playing outside.
That's
Lots of sports, and I did play sports outside, like soccer, baseball, basketball, all of that. But a lot of swimming.
Yeah, I played soccer.
Yeah. Anyways,
Soccer was cool.
So one question that I looked up online that is kind of lame, but I'm still curious. Have you always been like such a serious and dedicated student?
Oh yes, always,
Always.
until like the very end of senior year of college, where I was like, it's okay if I get a B+ instead of an A+. Like, I'll let it slide. I already have a job lined up,
Yeah.
so I'll let it slide.
Sounds like one of your like core personality or like identifying things, like good student.
Oh yeah, but not just like A's. Like if it was under a 95, I was disappointed because that 94 was like A-.
I was always like somewhat serious about school, and it was a kind of priority for me, but I always kind of also just breezed by and didn't take everything super seriously.
There was no
with
breezing.
school.
There was no breezing. I mean, I was really good about not procrastinating, so I didn't. I mean, I stressed, but I would have stressed a lot more if I like had that pressure and I procrastinated. I was really good at not procrastinating. I
was the worst. I procrastinated so much.
Oh, I know. And I was such the opposite that like when I got to college, my friends would tease me because I'd be like finishing a paper a month before it was due. And they're like, really? I haven't started. And I'm like, look at this. I'm done.
But like, I understand it now. And I probably would have even understood the logistics of it at the time. It was just very hard for me to do. So I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So what were some of the things you liked and disliked about school?
I mean, I liked learning stuff sometimes if I felt it was relevant to me. I hated memorizing stuff.
Oh, I hated memorizing stuff. I was the worst.
And like depending on what age I was and what school I was at, I sometimes had a good social experience and sometimes I did not.
Oh,
so sometimes it was a positive, sometimes it was a negative.
Well, for me, it's like it was so interesting that depending on the community I was in, like the first day of school was like great or really bad. Because when you live overseas, oftentimes in these communities, in these schools that you go to, you're surrounded by people who move all the time. So every year, every semester, there's always new people coming, always new people leaving. So there's a system in place for that, and kids expect new kids.
Yeah. I mean, when I was little, it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, new person. Hi, friends. Okay.
Yeah.
But then, like, by middle school,
Oh,
it was pretty tough, especially moving in the middle of the year, middle of 7th grade.
Oof. Oh, I moved in right in the middle of 7th grade, too. That's the worst time to move.
It was the worst.
The absolute worst
So that
time
was
to
in
move.
your hooligan years.
That was at the end of my hooligan years.
Oh, you had learned.
I had learned. Yeah. But like going into the hooligan school, like that was actually one of the good schools that like you went to the office and they had a student there that would show you to your first class and introduce you and have lunch with you and like
That was not a thing.
it was so great. It was so magical because like the whole thing was set up to introduce you and get you going and get you socially boosted right away, and it worked. It worked really well. I just fell in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a thing for any of my moves.
I think moving to Texas, it was like the most awkward because when I moved here, everyone had known everyone for their entire lives.
That was the most awkward for me too, moving to Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Everyone had known
So
everybody.
awkward.
Yeah, well, people in Texas don't leave.
Don't leave, yeah.
I mean, I don't blame them because I don't really want to leave Texas.
No, it's
I love
great.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. I didn't know if it was because just more awkward because I was older or more awkward because most people I knew had lived here their entire lives.
No, yeah. It was definitely like a little bit more awkward moving into a school in Houston because of like, yeah, like by that point, especially by like end of middle school, it's kind of an awkward place to join in.
It's very awkward. It's very awkward.
All right, and now a quick message from our sponsor, Squarespace.
Sponsor.
So it's actually a perfect match for this, partnering with Squarespace for the podcast, because we actually built the website for this podcast
on
with
Squarespace.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't really know what Squarespace is, it's kind of a one-stop shop for setting up your website. You can buy your domain there. You can get everything set up. All the plugins are already there. You don't need to install anything third-party. And
all the templates are already pre-built to work with mobile, and they're super modern and nice looking.
Yeah, and since it's all provided by Squarespace, you don't need to worry about anything third-party breaking. You don't need to install any third-party checkout app or anything. They have a shopping app built in with shipping and all of that. So
which that specifically is, I think, really cool, because I know a lot of people who listen to the podcast are makers, and y'all are often asking, for tips if you want to start selling the stuff you make. And I think owning your own website is super, super powerful. And with the Squarespace product-based websites, there's no cap on the amount of products you can sell, which I think is really cool. They don't cut you off at a certain number of listings.
That's really
so
cool.
You can go crazy.
And if you run into any troubles, they have 24/7 support, which is kind of a nice safety blanket, because websites are kind of they're a big deal.
Yeah, they're a big deal. So go to squarespace.com for your free trial. And if you want 10% off, go to squarespace.com/Evan and Katelyn.
Podcast.
Evan and Katelyn podcast. Different URL than the videos.
Squarespace.com/Evan and Katelyn podcast.
Do we nail it?
We nailed it.
Okay. Back to it. So what are some of your most awkward / embarrassing stories?
Oh, geez. That's an awkward question to ask.
Well, yeah. That's not the point of this podcast. Or isn't it awkward, the awkward years?
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you my default stock answer.
Okay.
I shaved my entire body once.
Well, you were in swimming.
You ruined my punchline. That's my punchline to give. I guess
Didn't you guys do crazy stuff to your hair?
Oh yeah. So leading up to the big swim events, state or regionals or something like that, would often shave our heads or buzz it down really, really short to reduce drag, and it kind of increases the feeling of the water on your skin and makes you feel like you're faster. It's kind of like a placebo for making you think that you're faster, so you go faster and everything. So before we buzzed our hair, would do crazy things. So it's on the top of our heads would carve in a face or something, or would dye it. I bleached my tips once, and then I quickly shaved them off again because it was horrible. But we dyed our hair green and orange, and we just had fun with it because we were going to shave it off soon after. But that was a tradition we did. That was really fun. That really wasn't that embarrassing.
I remember once my mom and I convinced my younger brother to let us bleach his tips.
Oh.
He was very upset with us because you have to wear that cap and pull the hair through. Yeah, he has a really tender head.
I did that.
And he was like, "Why are you guys making me do this?"
And it burned. Bleaching burns your scalp.
Well, it shouldn't if you're only doing the tips.
Well, it was a whole bunch of teenagers doing it that had no experience. It was a whole bunch of male teenagers messing with each other's hair. We had no experience with it. It was very bad. It was very amateur, and it showed. I think probably the most embarrassing story, for real, is when I misbehaved and I wasn't a good person.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm legit most embarrassed about, that I went through that phase in my life. But other than that, I don't know. Looking back, I'm pretty embarrassed with my absolute lack of fashion sense. My hair, my outfits. Oh boy.
I had fashion, but it was just constantly changing every time I moved in a very extreme way.
Yeah, I just didn't put much effort in.
What would you wear? I mean, aside from the alien t-shirts when you were younger, but high school.
Okay, so specifically embarrassing things. I had an embarrassing, I'm not really embarrassed of it anymore, or I wasn't embarrassed at the moment, but I wonder if my parents were embarrassed. I'd chew on the front of my t-shirt.
You always have holes?
I always it was always kind of slightly warped and stuff, and sometimes I'd get holes in it.
But wait, but that wasn't high school. That was younger.
No, yeah, that was when I was 8 or 9 or
Okay.
7 or something. That was in Dubai. I just remember that in Dubai.
I had some, so when I was about that age, like I specifically remember my like hand-picked outfit for the first day of, okay, I don't remember if it was 4th grade or 5th grade, but it was one of those.
Yeah.
I'll describe it to you. I had a lime green t-shirt
Yeah.
with a white cat face on it. It was from Limited 2. I had lime green denim shorts.
Yes.
You know, like denim material,
Matching?
but lime green. So the same lime green.
Same lime green.
I
Okay.
had lime green tennis shoes.
Oh.
And I had lime green alien earrings.
Oh.
That was my look.
So all lime green
All
except
lime
for
green.
white cat.
All lime green, yes. That was my like first day of school outfit of choice.
Highlighter. You're just
I know, it was good. Another favorite outfit of that same time period is I had these velvet overalls.
ooh.
And then I had a velvet t-shirt I would wear with the velvet overalls, and I had velvet shoes. It was all either black or dark red.
Very nice.
It was a good look.
Very nice.
It was a good look. Hey, velvet's coming back.
Man, you know it's like such a memory trip when I was thinking of like high school days, AOL Instant Messenger. Oh my gosh. I have so many feelings around like AIM and then like the noise it made when like chats came
Yes.
in. And like how many times you'd like write something out, then delete it, then write it, then delete it, then write it,
Did
and
you do the
delete
thing
it.
where you would go into like, I forget what it was called, but like invisible mode?
Oh yeah, totally.
So like you could see who was on, but you know, they couldn't see that you were online.
And then when someone that you want to talk to joins, you just casually come online shortly after and
Yeah.
say, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Oh, hey, I just got on.
Yeah, I
Totally
wasn't waiting
wasn't
here.
waiting for you. Yes.
And the completely awkward flirting that happens on
So
AIM.
awkward.
So
well, and
awkward.
even just like we didn't ask each other for phone numbers. You would ask for like, what's your
Usernames?
AIM screen name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like the thing.
So how
Or I have an
smooth-
awkward story.
Oh, I was about to say like how smooth were you at flirting?
Not smooth.
Not. Okay, what's the
There's
story?
One story. Oh God.
Oh, are you about to tell something embarrassing? Please do.
Yeah. I don't even know if I've told you this. It was a flirting story when I was
Okay.
asking for a screen name.
Okay, please do.
Okay, it was like early high school.
Uh-huh.
And there was this guy that was in my gym class that I thought was cute. I did not know his name. I had never spoken to him. The only thing I knew is I was like, oh, that guy's cute.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't talk. He was very quiet. And so,
Lone wolf.
yes, a lone wolf. So one day, every now and then, like in PE, we would have like a study day
Mm-hmm.
where we didn't actually do stuff. We would all just go to the cafeteria and study. And it was kind of like we would actually just all talk.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to be brave and I'm going to go talk to him. I still don't know his name, by the way. So I went up and I was like, hey, did I see you at the Spurs game this weekend?
Smooth. Smooth
Yeah.
as silk.
Right. Good excuse. And he was like, no, it wasn't me. And then I was like, oh, haha. And I don't know how I transitioned to this. I blacked out, but I asked him for his AOL like screen name.
Yeah.
I got it. And then I chatted him at some point and realized he was just really, really boring. I stopped talking to him. So really the only story is my opening line.
Oh yeah.
Did I see you at the Spurs game last weekend?
Still that smooth.
Imagine going up to someone knowing full well that like the
You
answer
didn't.
is no, I didn't see them. It's a total lie. It's gonna be fully transparent that I'm just lying here.
Hey, that's really gutsy though.
It was pretty
High
gutsy.
five to you.
Thanks.
High five to
Never did it again.
like 5th grade you.
No. I was like 9th grade. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty smooth.
Oh, thank you.
One interesting thing to think of after like sharing all those embarrassing stories is like what we are doing right now with our job. It's sharing our lives and like being in front of the camera for
very
millions
public.
of people. It's very public. And we weren't really centers of public attention.
No, I mean, you guys heard the story from last week about when I tried to like present a commercial to my class.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it.
It's interesting though, because publicly, I think that when we were growing up, we weren't ever really like centers of the attention. But I think that at home, we did share a lot and we were both kind of loud and interesting people. Like it's always interesting that like your parents always say that when you're back home, it's like the
house
house
gets way louder.
the house gets way louder.
Yeah.
It's like with singing and random noises and like
Yeah.
everything like that. So it's like at home where we're comfortable, that's where we were able to express ourselves and be weird and be loud and everything. But publicly, it's wasn't really our thing to be the centers of attention. No. And in a strange way, that still kind of holds true. I mean, we're able to do this very comfortably in front of you guys, partially because it's just the camera.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Half the time when we're podcasting, like we're in PJs from the waist down.
Yeah. Another thing that's really interesting is expanding it, just not us, but one thing I've noticed is a lot of other YouTubers have a slight tendency towards slight introversion and not being super comfortable in front of huge crowds, but they're able to get there through the videos that they've made, build up that confidence, and like get through public appearances.
But you can tell it still wears on a lot of people.
Yeah, I can definitely tell it wears a lot.
Because if you think about it, like someone who's doing YouTube full time is by themselves a lot more than the average person who's working at a, either an office job or, a shift job. Either one of those, you're around other people.
And so much of the job is also behind the computer, like setting up deals, figuring out projects, designing and editing.
Even when it's not behind the computer, even when you're doing stuff in front of the camera, it's just you. I mean, for us, it's different because it's two of us.
Two of us, yeah.
But like most YouTubers spend probably more time alone than the average person.
Yeah, because most average people go to work and there's people there.
Yeah, that's
most YouTubers just are like alone in their house with their camera and talking to it.
Yep.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so I feel like it kind of makes sense that a lot of us are kind of on the introverted side.
Yeah. Another thought that I had when I was going through all of the childhood stories and thinking about what we wanted to talk about is I'm kind of glad that we went through that awkward, ugly duckling type phase in our life, because I think it let me empathize with an even broader range of people. It let me be more empathetic in general. Mm-hmm. And I would say
so too.
I'm kind of glad that I went through it. I still might be in that awkward, ugly duckling phase. I'm not saying I'm out of it. I'm still pretty awkward.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kind of glad that I went through that phase in general.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're in a place of comfort all the time where you don't have to push yourself, you don't have to make new friends, you don't have to present awkward commercials in front of the class. You don't learn how to deal with those situations when you're young, and I feel like it's a lot harder to deal with them when you're older. So I am grateful that like we were put in situations where we were kind of awkward and out of place, because I feel like it did help. Yeah. I'm still kind of awkward and out of place oftentimes.
Well, you know what isn't awkward or out of place?
A game?
A game! Oh, I was just copying you, trying to get the timing right. I still don't know the timing of that song.
I don't understand.
All right, Katelyn, quiz me.
Okay. Don't look. Okay. So I'm going to pick up where we left off on our game from last week, which if you missed last week's episode, Pinterest releases an article of trends every year based on the search terms that are being searched. So based on what people are searching on Pinterest, that can tell you what things are trending for that year. So we're going over 2019 trends.
And she's quizzing me because I'm an expert at Pinterest trends.
Such an expert. Okay. So here's one in the home category. It's broken up by category. So it's like home, travel, food, fashion, etc. So here's one in the home category. I'm going to read 2 answers of search terms that are trending in 2019. And you're going to tell me which one is true and which one is false.
Correct.
Okay.
True.
Okay. So which of these 2 things is trending? Having statement ceilings or adding walls? Like the opposite of open concept.
Well, it's really hard right now because the main place where I got fashion advice for houses, style advice, is Fixer Upper. And there is no like current season of Fixer Upper. They're not making them anymore.
We've been watching Queer Eye.
Yeah,
they don't go into it as much there.
They don't go into it as much. Yeah, I know that adding like statement ceilings was a thing. I like the tin ones and stuff. You know, like the hammered stuff.
Yeah, the tin tiles. Yeah.
And I know that people have been talking about adding walls. So it's like I know that both of those are true things, which means that it's really hard. You chose your diversion wisely,
Yes.
Sensei.
I know your brain. Grasshopper.
I don't know why I'm taking this so seriously now. I feel like
You want to win.
I want to win. I hope it's statement ceilings because I think that's more fun than adding walls. But adding walls is, I guess, kind of easy if you think about the logistics of like adding a wall versus removing a wall. Because when you're adding a wall, you don't need to worry about structural elements. All you need to do is just like put up some 2x4, some drywall, like attach it into a stud, and you're good to go. You know, no big deal.
What would be a situation where you might want to add a wall?
If someone that had like made an open concept house went a little bit too far, you know, so you add some like dividers, some like, you know, because walls are important to like hang stuff on or add like a little bit of division between two areas to like delineate them. So it's like if
I agree. Like I like that our house is like semi-open concept, but it's not just one giant big space.
I want to say ceilings, but I'm actually going to say adding walls.
Final answer?
Final answer.
It's ceilings.
Dang it! I overthought it. I talked myself out of it. You're so good.
I know. Statement ceilings searches are up 310%. But I do. So the walls thing, that's not one. You know, some of the answers in last episode that were the false answers were actually answers from previous years. That's not one. But it's one that I feel like I'm starting to see, like people rejecting
open concept
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it went super far on the extreme where like every home makeover show, they would just literally take out every wall from the main living space.
Yep. And add like beams and stuff.
Yeah.
Like open beams and everything.
I mean, beams are still cool.
Yeah, beams are still cool. But like add those like big massive beams to replace the open concept thing. Because like when you take out walls, you need to add beams.
Oh, yeah. For support.
For
like
support.
Engineering support. Yeah. So it is interesting, but I do see... Like, I remember in some of the later seasons of Fixer Upper, every now and then.
They didn't open it up as much.
Or she has added walls.
Oh.
Like, partial walls that are made of steel and glass and were see-through.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
Or, like, there was... I feel like there's a Queer Eye recently where they added a wall.
So, you know what? My answer was just the trends of 2020.
Yeah.
So I'm just like ahead of my time.
We'll do this quiz again in a year.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I have one more home one for you. Oh, and I'll read what they said about the statement ceilings. A statement ceiling can transform a room from the top down with bold paint, striking wallpaper, or intricate texture. So I guess like the texture one, that's kind of like
Ugh.
I think like the tin.
Oh, the tin.
Ceilings
Oh, okay.
is like
okay.
a texture.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I don't think they mean like popcorn.
Popcorn's making a comeback. No, God, please no.
I don't think that's happening. I've seen like texture as in like ceiling tiles and stuff like the tin tiles. I've seen bold colors. I have not seen wallpaper on ceilings.
That would be kind of weird.
That seems like a pain to add.
Yeah.
Just like floppy paper roll falling in your face. Seems terrible.
Seems terrible.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. One more home-related one.
I'm not looking.
Okay. Yeah. Don't look. Look at the camera. Okay. So which item is trending? Ombre walls or textile art?
Textile art.
What's your reasoning?
Ombre walls seem dumb. Also, like it seems like they'd be such a pain to do, like getting that fade correct and everything. I just like textiles more. So I want that to be the truth.
You're right, it's the truth.
Yes.
It's a huge increase.
Huge.
1,718%.
Did you just make up the ombre walls?
No, that actually is a thing. It's not from a past trend, but ombre walls were a thing for a bit. And it did look really difficult to do. And it often looked bad. But sometimes it did look really cool.
I'm sure it could look really cool if it was done right, like subtle.
Yeah.
It was like subtle, the good ones.
Well, it wasn't about like the color, like the two colors that were fading from each other being subtle. It was about like how good their fade was.
Yeah.
Because if you could see dividing layers, it wasn't good. But some did get it really good. So the two that I've seen good, one was a navy to white.
Ooh, okay.
Which I feel like it was in a bedroom or something. But it looked cool. Like it was kind of like a smoky fog.
So like classy colors too.
Classy colors. The other one was in a child's room, and it was a blush to white.
Now,
like
I could
a
see
dusty
that.
blush.
I
A really
could see
dusty
that,
blush.
yeah.
So as opposed to like baby pink walls. It was like a dusty blush fade to like a creamy white.
I think especially for like a smaller kids room, that seems like appropriate.
Yeah, like it's kind of fun, but it worked with the navy
Nice.
also. But yeah, okay. But yeah, textile art. So, which is interesting because I know my mom's been doing a lot of that, and we have some like textile art from her in our house.
Yeah, and it's like it seems like it's a not super intimidating thing to hop into.
Yeah.
So like start with.
Yeah, do like loom stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go to another category now. Men's style.
A point at which I am a very expert on.
Yes, you are a very expert. Okay.
I feel like I should be a style consultant.
Okay. So which of these items is increasing in search? Fanny packs
Oh yeah.
or sling bags from
Oh.
men's fashion?
Oh, both. Both. Just have both. Just have your fanny pack and your sling bag. But I think fanny pack's more.
Do you know what a sling bag is?
No. It's like, isn't it just like a messenger bag, but smaller?
Not quite.
It's like a fanny pack that goes around your body.
Wait, now I'm doubting whether or not I know what a sling bag is.
I'm just saying words that seem to make sense.
So is that your final answer?
Fanny packs, because I have one and I started a trend.
It's sling bags.
Nah, dang it.
You should have known because like
2020.
I didn't know what a sling bag was, so I could have made that up.
2020. I'm calling it fanny pack in Greece.
I do agree with you because I've been seeing some fanny packs.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are wearing them crossbody too.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
seen
yeah.
that where they wear it like over the shoulder like a sash?
Yeah. I see like Julian do it a lot from Jen and Julian.
Yeah, Julian does it.
Yeah. And he's cool.
Yeah. Yes, there you go.
Trendsetter.
Yeah, and my mom got Evan a fanny pack for Christmas.
It's neat.
It is neat. It's nice. It's good for like traveling.
It is. You can fit so much in there.
You can fit so much in there. Yeah, but so okay, sling bags up 1,184%.
Do you know why they're called fanny packs?
Why?
Because they sit on your fanny.
Well, I mean, they kind of sit like in front of your stomach.
No, they're meant to go like originally
Oh,
behind.
really?
Yeah, that's how they were designed. They were designed to go like be worn so they rest on your butt.
Oh, so it would just look like a belt from the front?
Yeah, kind of.
But then like people did it for travel and it's more convenient and safer to have the zipper up front.
Yeah, but it was originally intended to be like resting on your booty,
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes
aka
the
your
name,
fanny.
That makes the name make a lot more
You're
sense.
packing stuff on the fanny.
Yes, 2020. Okay, here's another one. For in the men's style category.
Oh geez.
Okay, which one has an increased search? Cropped trousers or jorts?
Jorts are jean shorts.
Jean shorts, yep.
Very hot right now.
So hot right now.
What are cropped what's?
Cropped trousers.
What are those?
Trousers are kind of like slightly more structured pants, I think.
Cropped on the bottom or below? On top or below?
Shorter, like they're cropped from the bottom, like your ankles show.
Like capris for men?
No, not that cropped. Those are called capris. Actually, those would just be shorts because your shorts are like the length of a women's capris. Cropped, like they show like a little ankle, like this much. Like look at my hands.
The Fab Five sometimes wear it, so like maybe they're in style.
You don't sound confident yet, but you understand what each is.
I do now understand what each is.
Okay.
Let's say cropped things, cropped jorts. Both. Okay, the cropped things.
Cropped trousers.
Cropped trousers.
Do you not know the word trousers?
I just forget what you said. I have a very bad memory. I think I've said that a few times here.
Okay,
I think I remember that.
The answer is cropped trousers.
Yeah!
I thought I might throw in a wild card with jorts.
Queer Eye has my back.
Yep, with their cropped, the cropped trousers.
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
Yep.
And then they roll up other ones too.
Yep,
you
they
know?
roll them up. They roll up the sleeves.
Yep, yep.
The sleeves too. Look, I'm doing that right now.
Just roll
'cause
up
I'm a
everything.
fashionable dude. Look at this. Look at my sleeves. Look at my capped sleeves. Sorry for everyone. I'm just listening to this. It's really interesting visuals. Look how cool we are. Okay. Are you ready for women's style?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Because I also read the articles about women's style.
Yeah, I mean, you got to stay up to date on everything if you're a trendsetter. Okay.
As I am.
Okay, which one had the... That was a good look. Which one had the higher search terms? tortoise earrings or celebrity airport style?
Are tortoise earrings that are of tortoises?
I have no information for you there. I would assume tortoise shell because my guess is earrings with little turtles on them is not practical.
Celebrity airport fashions.
No.
No, what? I felt like that was too random to be made up.
It's a 2017 trend.
Oh, you got me
But I
again.
was like, what? It just seems weird to me. I put that one in there because I was like, who's thinking to search celebrity airport style?
Yeah, it's like
I
who,
can
who
see
gets
someone-
dressed up for the airport?
Well, people do.
They do?
But yeah, people do get. I mean, some people who are going on business, and then for
yeah, 'cause
back
I
in the
just go
day,
like full comfy.
yeah, but back in the day, it was like a luxury to travel by air. The same way it was
yeah.
like a luxury to travel by train. Like
Ooh.
you had to, be able to afford that, and so you would get dressed up for it. I think I was not alive, or I was very little. I don't know. I don't know what time period this was in. I'm just gonna stop talking. Okay, but so I could see how someone could look at a look and be like, yeah, that's kind of like celebrity airport chic. But I
So it's like-
wouldn't as myself think to search celebrity airport style.
Yeah, because like in a way, as a celebrity, you're always in like public. You're exposed to the public, and who knows when someone's going to take a photo of you.
Yeah,
So you're
but,
like
like-
always under pressure to look at least somewhat good.
But like you
So-
probably also want to be kind of comfy.
Yeah.
So I
it's
think
like
what it
people are
is
looking
like
at,
fashionable
comfy
comfies.
chic. Yeah.
Yeah, like fashionable comfies.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. Which,
Okay, yeah.
I'm kind of down with that.
That should be my fancy,
yeah.
normal fancy.
Yeah. But so for the tortoise, the tortoise earrings, it just says it was not very clear whether or not it was little turtles or like tortoise shell pattern stuff. I'm assuming it's like tortoise shell, like tortoise shell glasses.
Like big round things.
No, it's like a pattern on the frame. So it's kind of like dark brown and lighter brown kind of modeled.
Okay. Okay.
A picture like the way light looks in shadows, like when it's going through the leaves of a tree.
Okay. Yeah. Modeled.
Modeled in like
Yeah.
two different shades of brown, kind
Yeah.
of like a goldy and a dark brown.
Uh-huh.
That's like tortoiseshell. Like
Oh, okay.
It's often in glasses or like hair clips and stuff. So I'm thinking it's that. But the description just says, up your shell game. Hares beware. Slow and steady wins the race with these versatile, sophisticated tortoise earrings. So like, it doesn't say tortoiseshell earrings. It just says tortoise earrings.
Good job, Pinterest.
What does that mean? Are there tiny turtles? Should I get some that match my tiny aliens from 5th grade?
Yes.
Lisa Frank style.
Neon.
Neon. Okay, I have another women's. So, which one got more search terms? Bamboo bags or berets?
Bamboo bags, number one. I totally know it. Final answer.
You don't like berets?
No, I just know. Bamboo bags are like a thing.
Yeah, that is the answer. How did you know? I didn't know
Yeah.
that was a thing. It's huge.
I've been hearing-
2,215% increase from last year.
Bamboo bags. That's like a thing. It's, super environmental, and environmental things are like
Is
super
it like
trendy.
fiber from the bamboo?
Well,
Woven?
bamboo is just like,
I know that bamboo in general is very environmentally friendly, but I don't know how it's translated to bags. I mainly know of it in terms of like bamboo flooring or bamboo.
I'm just super trendy and I keep up with the trends. Look at these rolled sleeves. If you're watching the video.
If not, just imagine these rolled sleeves. They're kind of cute on you. Yeah. It says, stay connected to nature by carrying all the essentials in a striking, structured handbag. I mean, you could say that about any striking, structured handbag. It doesn't necessarily have to be bamboo. But yeah, I just wasn't really sure how they were made.
I think it's just a trendy material.
No, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. But berets was up last year.
It's
That was
because
a thing.
It's because of Heinemann.
Jamie Heineman, yeah, he was really trending in 2018
Really trending.
with women's
So hot right
fashion.
now.
With women's fashion, all the ladies look to him as a style icon.
So
I'm
true.
sure there was some random celebrity that wore a beret.
And it went
That's
crazy.
why, yeah. I'm sure other people know who that person is. I don't. Okay, I have one more category.
Okay.
2 more questions. So, this is the beauty category, which is fitting because
booty
of all
guru.
all the booty guru drama lately, which we're not going to get into.
Woo, woo, woo. Spicy.
Whew, spill the tea. Okay, so which is trending? Almond nails or avocado nails?
I'm guessing they're like dips that you dip it in, or like ways to treat it, or are they like nails, like nail art?
You're just going to have to use your best judgment.
Avocados are always trendy.
It's true. Almonds are pretty trendy too, though.
It's avocado.
It's not.
Ah, dang it! I thought like because like how you reacted, you know. Oh, you just.
But I knew I'd get you because avocados are always trendy. Okay, so it's almond nails, and it's about the shape.
Oh, like the shape of the nail.
They're shaping them like almonds, where it's like kind of like a rounded point at the end.
Oh, okay.
Which
So instead of being
seems
like
dangerous. Instead
Yeah.
of being like a rounded tip or a squared tip, it's like a rounded point tip.
oh,
Yeah, weird, right?
weird.
That was my like scratchy noise. Yeah.
But you know what's so fake too? Is it could have been avocados too, because almonds and avocados have the same shape. So I was technically correct.
I mean, avocados are a little bit more like
Nope,
curvy.
nope. Same shape.
Like they got like
Same
a
shape.
like a booty on them.
Oh, you're right. They do. They
kinda got a little bit of a booty.
They kind of got a little bit more booty.
Okay, one more. Nude lashes or glossy makeup.
Nude lashes.
What are
Because
nude lashes?
They're minimal lashes. They're nude. they have genitalia on them. I don't know. Who knows with these voodoo gurus?
The booty gurus? What are they doing?
They're just putting genitalia on their eyelashes.
I thought you were gonna say like they're it's like people not wearing anything on their lashes.
That's
or
it?
like it's like a nude colored mascara.
You know what'd be really weird? Yeah, if you put like skin colored mascara on your eyelashes, that just made your eyelashes completely disappear.
White mascara is a thing that some people do.
Yeah.
That would disappear on my skin. My pale is too strong.
Nude lashes. Final
What
answer,
about
Alex
glossy
Trebek.
makeup?
No.
It's glossy makeup.
Ah, dang it!
But that's so nude lashes. I didn't really know what I thought you would think with those ones. It just sounded like two beauty words that I could put together. But glossy makeup is
Wait, so
sounds
nude
weird.
lashes isn't even a real thing?
No, I just made it up.
Oh, dang it! Shows how much I know.
Because there's other things like nude lips are a thing.
Yeah.
But then that's where like you do like a skin colored color on your lips.
So your lips just disappear?
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Nude lips. I mean, well, they don't actually disappear fully. Like there's different levels of nude.
Like, what if you like perfectly matched, like, and then like with the
You can see
foundation
that.
and stuff?
Well, because sometimes you can see what that looks like because a lot of times the booty gurus will put foundation over their lips first.
Yeah.
So they cover everything in foundation.
So they're just like a completely
They look
flat face.
like an egg. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see what that looks like. It looks weird.
Very strange.
But so glossy makeup, it says gloss is helping make people's best features shine from lips to lids.
Is that just like highlighter?
I don't think so. Because
Like contouring?
Gloss implies
Shininess.
a liquidity.
Yeah.
And I have seen like liquid highlighters, and there is liquid eyeshadow. And I've tried
But
it.
like if it's high
in middle
gloss
school.
makeup, that just looks weird on your face.
It just, I mean, I could kind of see it for like a highlighter, but for eyes, oh my God, I just imagine it sliding everywhere.
Oh,
like
goopy goop.
It's not going to stay put. Imagine having something like a liquidy cream on your eyelids. How is that not going to move around when you blink? Or if you sweat at all?
I guess those booty gurus live that harsh life.
That harsh life of no sweating?
No, of like
No blinking?
no blinking and constantly being sticky.
Okay, well that ends my my trend things that I gathered.
What grade did I get, teacher?
50.
Ah, dang it. I failed.
No, you got half right.
Glass
and you
half
had
full.
a 50-50 shot in each answer, so I guess that's to be expected.
Yeah, I was pretty much guessing on everyone.
Yeah, you did. I liked your methods of deduction. Though.
Oh,
It was
thank you.
interesting.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
interesting. And I think you are right about some of the 2020 trends, like fanny packs.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Jorts.
I'm just ahead of my trend. All right, so things of the week. Week. So my thing of the week is a channel. It's a whole channel called Creator Insider. It's a whole bunch of people at YouTube that just want to get more information out. It's not sanctioned by YouTube, or it's not like an official YouTube channel, but YouTube allows its employees to do it They don't like, it's not part of their job descriptions. It's just like people trying to get more information out. And I really respect that.
If you have a YouTube channel, it's often the channel that shows up in your dashboard.
Yeah.
With like little tips videos and stuff.
Yeah, and they just give like tips on like new experiments they're trying, where they, are trying like a new UI, or they added a new feature, or, updates about back end things that are going on that affect so many people. And I really appreciate them putting that time in. So I thought
I know not everyone listening is necessarily doing YouTube stuff, but if it's something you're considering or that you have started doing, it's definitely a really good thing to look into.
Truth.
Yeah. Okay, my turn?
Your turn.
Okay, my turn is one of my favorite podcasts that I hope I haven't given as my thing of the week.
I Google searched it with our own, like in our own system, and it didn't show up.
Okay, cool, because I've recommended this to a lot of people, so I don't know. Okay. It's a podcast called Ologies. The host is Allie Ward. We first discovered it when Simone Yerch was on it for the Gizmology episode. But basically, Allie interviews different ologists. And so it's a different topic every single week. It's like a huge range. Like the last few I've listened to were ludology, which is the study of video games, hagfishology, which is the study of hagfish, and then what was another reason? Those are both
There's one about like fear. The fear one was really good.
Fear one was really
like
good.
It's like a two-parter. Ooh, so good.
Yeah, the fear one was so good. The beauty standards one was really good.
Yeah, but you just learn a lot about life and the world and all sorts of things. And the people she brings on are so passionate for what they do.
Yes, they're like so interesting.
So interesting, and even if you think that you're not interested in that topic, listen to it and you'll get something from it.
I didn't think I was going to be interested in hagfish. I didn't know what a hagfish was, but I had to Google it after this because I was so interested in like seeing what they looked like after talking about them so much. Do you know what a hagfish is?
They're slimy, and that's gross. That's all I know.
They're slimy. They're like slimy. So Allie described them as slimy little hot dogs with eyes.
Oh,
yeah,
that's nightmare fuel.
But like Allie's hilarious. I love the podcast.
Well, and she's so good at interviewing people. She does a lot of research beforehand. Good. She asks the right questions, and she's also has fun with it.
Yeah, she's super funny.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll link to those things.
If you need more podcasts, that's a good shout out for us.
Yeah. All right.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. Yeah, I think it's about time to end the words.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this week's episode. I hope it was enjoyable. If you have more suggestions for different podcasts, for different topics we can cover in the future, head over to youtube.com/Evan and Katelyn. Go over to the community tab and leave some comments there.
It's an ongoing thread.
Yeah, upvote the ones that you want so that they raise to the top. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.